For parts of the upper Midwest and Great Lakes, that includes really the storm from late tomorrow and Friday, bringing in as much as a foot of snow in some places in western Minnesota. Let's have a look at the maps. And there we go. Look at that. There's a swath of at least 5 to 8, and in some places inside of that axis of heaviest snow, over a foot is possible. It does look like Minneapolis will escape the worst of it, or the most snow, I should say, with basically the track being not so favorable for a big snow producer there, kind of going along like that with the snow and the cold air on the west and north side of the cyclone. So this is what it's going to probably look like tomorrow afternoon, with low pressure pulling out of Kansas and beginning to wind up a little bit as it moves northward across the plains. You can see on the northwest edge, that's where the snow is, about 150 miles or so in that direction. But with a track about like that, expect again Minneapolis and areas to the southeast not to get much, to get a little bit on the backside when it moves away on Friday late and Friday night, but that'll be about it. But where it snows, it is going to potentially be blizzard-like, with high winds kicking up the snow and reducing visibilities down a lot, perhaps down near zero in some places, so travel not likely, very difficult likely across that region, and not, I would say, advised, let's put it that way, across parts of Minnesota and the Dakotas. So let's talk about the possible tracks, though, because I said, you know, a lot of the snowfall forecasts depend on where the low goes. If it moves a little bit to the south, then it puts Minneapolis a little bit more in play, and of course to the north, not so much. But if you run the models over and over again, you get a slightly different answer each time, and this is sort of a clustering of some of the different simulations that what they've shown us, with basically the low moving likely in a swath through there, through that corridor, and actually even likely to be in somewhere in the middle of that swath where the clustering is most tightly compacted there. So with that in mind, we have a pretty good confidence that the low pressure system is going to be moving about like that, right about through Minnie, which is why we don't think the odds of getting significant snow in southern Minnesota are that high. And in fact, the Weather Prediction Center has gone ahead and said, yeah, just that. Only really about a 10% chance of seeing 4 inches or more of snow in the Twin Cities. But you go a little northwest of there, for example, St. Cloud, Alexandria, even farther north, in Brainerd, and even up to International Falls. There's a high likelihood of getting over 4 inches of snow, and that's why we think our forecast right at about 8 inches is probably good to go. So let's now talk about the storm moving into the northeast, bringing unsettled weather Saturday and Sunday with some snow and cold.